Italian, either bori or carnaroli, a little bit of oil, and a pinch of salt. And you don't need to cook the rice 100%. You want to leave it a little bit al dente because we will then bake it again. So rice takes about 12 minutes to cook, 12 or more. Here, about 7 minutes, it should be at the right time. You drain it and then you put it on a sheet pan or a baking pan, whatever you have to cool, and then we'll assemble. But in the meantime, we need to make the sauce. A good tomato sauce. You need some good plum tomatoes. Crush them with your hands like I always do. Let's begin with some onion. Okay. And while that's cooking, eggplant. Get yourself these little eggplant. If an eggplant has a big kind of chubby belly, that means you're going to get a lot of seeds. So get yourself a long and thin eggplant. As long as it is firm, cut out the end. And I just kind of peel it partially. I like a little bit of the skin, but if you leave it all on, it is kind of tough. So just a little bit like a zebra. Okay, I think this is great. And then cut it sideways. You see, what you want is this little seeds, and you want white seeds. Because when they're brown, they're bitter, they're old. Okay. So, you get a lot of them. I did some in advance, so this way, because what you do is that you layer them just like that. In a colander, you put salt, and sometimes I weigh them down even with like a plate and a tomato can so that it pressures it down. And what you want is this liquid that comes out of the eggplant is the bitter liquid, the kind of peppery taste on your tongue. So we want to throw that out. Rinse well the eggplant now because you have your salt and whatever, so let's go and rinse the eggplant. Rinse and drain the eggplant, and we'll put it to cook in the sauce itself. So the onion is wilting. It is time for the tomato. Let's add the crushed plum tomatoes. And guess what? I'm going to slosh this too. I'm going to collect everything. Let's put some salt in here. Some pepperoncino. I like it nice and spicy. So we'll let this bubble away. Let me mix the cheese. This is the cheese that we're going to layer the Parmigiana. So, grated mozzarella cheese and grated grano Parmigiano. You want to put a little bit of the grated cheese and just kind of run it through your fingers. Okay, so that's ready. The sauce is going to begin to boil. As soon as the sauce is beginning to perk, let's put the eggplant right in. So you take the eggplant, you kind of slide them in. And you could fry the eggplant separately, but today we're all so conscious, and we should be, about what we eat. This is a great option. You cook the eggplant in the sauce. You don't have to fry it. All right, they're all going for a dip here in the sauce. Okay. So we let this bubble, and it'll take about 20 minutes of bubbling and cooking. The eggplant will be halfway done. And then we'll assemble this casserole, lasagna, whatever you want to call it. Rice, eggplant, and cheese. The eggplant are cooked. The rice is chilled, and we are ready to assemble. So a nice baking vessel like this, or a ceramic, whichever one will do. Let me just put a little bit of basil in just shred it in, just for some freshness and flavor. Let that kind of sink in. Oh, I have the bay leaves here. Let me remove that. Remember how many you put in? Take them out. And let's begin the assemblaggio, the assembly. A little bit of sauce on the bottom. Okay. And let's line the bottom with eggplant. I'm helping along the eggplant because I want them to stay nice in one piece. Okay, so a little bit of cheese, a bit of certainly mozzarella, shredded mozzarella, and now the rice, and half a rice in this layer, and then we'll save half a rice for the next layer. There's a lot of flavor here, so we put a little bit of salt and oil in the rice, and it's just simply flavored, but it will absorb the cheese, the tomato, all from this. A little bit of sauce. Layer the eggplant again. A bit of mozzarella in between. The rice. Shake it all off. We have a little bit of sauce, so maybe just a little drizzle. Not too much because I want the crispiness of the cheese, but you just want to give it some color. That looks good. It's gonna bubble and melt. What's important is that you don't want it to bubble out. Let me clean this. So you want to put kind of a half a sheet pan or a baking pan with a little parchment paper so that if anything does bubble, you can just throw it out. You don't have to scrub the pan, and it's easier to carry. And you want to cover it with foil. Now I'm going to make like a little tent because I have the cheese and I don't want the foil to eat up all of the cheese. So we're going to make like a little tent. A preheated 375-degree oven, and you bake it covered for about a half an hour. Then you uncover it and let the crust develop for another 20, 30, even 30 minutes. This, if it bakes, it gets good. As long as you see on the side it's not burnt or anything, bake it so that crust forms. Okay, Grandma. Bubbling hat. What do you think of this?
Beautiful presentation. Very nice colors. Beautiful. Just really appetizing.
And you like cheese, and you
and
like
the smell.
You ready? You ready to taste? We're gonna taste a little bit. Un assaggio. So this is beautiful, just like that. You bring it to the table. I think you let it settle, a few minutes. Grandma's here, so we're gonna get right into it. And you can cut it with a serrated knife, or sometimes you can just fish it out like a casserole. But we are gonna get a nice crunchy.
That's too much for me.
I'm here too, Grandma.
Oh, you're here. You want to taste too?
Absolutely.
I thought the cook doesn't eat.
The cook never goes hungry. That's the idea. Okay, so I'm kind of cutting all the way down, making sure that we get to the bottom of it. And let me just pull it up like that. Ooh,
We can share. This is too much.
yeah, that's the intent. But you know what?
Yeah.
I know you like the crust. Now I'm gonna give you, does this look good? Okay. Wait, I'm gonna give you your crust because I know you like the crust.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Here is yours. And a little rosé for you, a little rosé for me. I think rosé was
Madonna
great
Santa,
with this.
Complete.
But I want your opinion because, you know, we got to tell them and we got to invite them. Grandma, before you start eating, what do we always say at our
I'm
house?
so anxious.
I know you're
dig
anxious,
to
but
dig in.
what do we tell them? We have to tell them. Tutti a tavola a mangiare.
E bere. She
Okay.
forgot maybe about the berry.